So, Pat and Darren here again today talking about the latest in the New York City road rage case. Of course, this is the one that everybody's been looking at. You've seen the footage, the motorcyclist swarming around that Range Rover, dragging this guy out, beating him up in front of his wife and his 2-year-old child. And Pat, this all happened on the guy's wedding anniversary.
Yeah, they were celebrating. Oh.
So now there have been multiple arrests made in the case. And here's what's really bizarre. Turns out that some of the people that may have been involved in the beatdown were undercover New York City police officers. So
Yeah.
a lot of drama yet to unfold here.
All right, Pat Lalama, I'm going to take off my journalism cap and put on the mouthy, loud, opinionated cap and tell you...
I'm sorry, those may be one and the same caps,
shut
Pat.
up. All right, let me just tell you. These guys, I'm going out on a limb here, but I think you're behind me, lawless, reckless street thugs. I've seen guys like this on Sunset Boulevard here in LA. They terrorize people. Not me, I'm afraid of nothing. And let me tell you something, the issue is the driver shouldn't have run over the man and broken his legs and his back, I believe. Self-defense, baby. Let me tell you something, when I first moved here from Chicago, in LA maybe a month, I'm on Ventura Boulevard. There's a car in front of me at a red light. The light turns green. The car in front of me doesn't move, so I tap on my horn. Turns out, bunch of thugs in a car chased me down Ventura Boulevard for 2 miles. They're running up over sidewalks, running through red lights, trying to get to me. I am telling you, and again, I'm not fearful of anything. I was scared out of my mind. I am sure that's how this man felt when he needed to protect his family. These guys are punks.
Hang on one second before we leap too quickly towards the idea that this is self-defense. Pat, if you'll put aside your own personal experiences for a second, we don't know what actually precipitated this attack. That's never been captured on film. Well, it does matter. So what we have is this Range Rover, you know, a vehicle is actually a deadly weapon, weighs a couple of tons. Here we've got this guy and his family, they're protected inside the car. It's actually the motorcyclists who are most vulnerable, as we saw, because this played out with the motorcyclist getting hit as the Range Rover takes off. So the question is the driver of the Range Rover legally justified to do what he did? I'm not so sure.
We're talking about a mob frenzy. We're talking about people who are beating on his car, harassing him. He had no choice. You would do the same. And you want to know something?
Maybe.
Here's the other thing about what precipitated it. It doesn't matter. I hearken back to George Zimmerman. Wasn't about what precipitated it, but what he felt at that moment.
Pat, what do you think about the idea that there are undercover New York City police officers that are involved, not just as bystanders, but actually getting involved in the beatdown?
Well, hold on. For the record, big fan of law enforcement right here. That's me, okay? But I got to tell you, what the heck are they doing riding with these punks to begin with? They can't find a better class of people to hang out with.
These guys were off duty. This was nothing to do with their work activities.
But we don't know yet whether they were involved, whether they witnessed it. What we do know is that it took them many days to tell their higher-ups at the police department they were there. Yeah. And that's a problem.
That's, by the way, that's something that we can actually agree on. That is not kosher.
No, they should have gone the day after and said, hey, I got to tell you what's going on here.
Right. And I get not wanting to blow your cover, but there's a difference between standing by passively and actively participating in the attack. That's the problem. Okay, well, you know what we think. Now we want to know what you think. So share your opinions. In the meantime, she's Pat, I'm Darren. We're Crime Feed on Investigation Discovery.